Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel to a special recap episode. So I posted three top class videos before. I will link them, and I wanted to give you guys an update. Did we complete the set? How's the Holo Giants subset going? And also I wanted to use the opportunity to give you guys a rundown of, like a recap of the season, team by team, and also a little glimpse into the future, recording this right after the draft. And there's already some moves going on, and I thought this was a good idea to uh, give a recap because now, since the season is over, it will be a hard time until the season starts again in October. But I'm excited for the new season. I hope it will be, at least in the playoffs, it will be a bit more exciting. There were good series, there were good matches, but at the end of the day, it was quite clear that Boston will make it. They were my pick at the beginning of the season. Let's see if they are or stay the pick for next season. Things are changing, and this is what makes the league so exciting to myself and a lot of other people. So let's get into it. First, of course, we will start with Atlanta. So even though they did play or were in the play-in tournament, they had an underwhelming season. Things are not clicking. Uh, they got DeJounte Murray, and it didn't really pay off. So the Hawks are a weird team for me, even though they have Trae Young, but Trae Young, stat-wise, is a really great player, but it doesn't seem to translate as a leader and a guy you want to build your team around. Which led, and this was also not planned because the odds were stacked against them, but they managed to get the first pick out of this. So, Riza Shea, Frenchmen, of course, they are invading the league. And maybe this is the time for Atlanta to break down the team. They started with trading away Murray for not a lot. So the Pels were quite lucky to get an All-Star caliber player for not much, Dyson Daniels, and some additional stuff. So it seems that Atlanta got the memo and tried to rebuild. The question is, will they also trade away Trae Young and try to build a new core? Um, we will see on this, but another question is who will uh, invest into Trae Young, because even though he's a great player, we do have a lot of great point guards that are also great playmakers. I mean, he's an assist leader, right? But something is off here. One of the good news for Atlanta was Jalen Johnson. Even though he got hurt, he seems to have a lot of potential and is an exciting player. I guess for some of the season at least, he was in the discussion for most improved player. So this is a good one. Let's see on this. Generally, I like Quinn Snyder, the head coach. Like what he did in Utah. I think he's a good coach. But if they are going to rebuild, this will take time. And the Hawks are a weird one. So moving on to Boston, I mean, what else can I say? This team was top notch. They manhandled most of the league for the season, and made a quite impressive run in the playoffs. Are champions. I was rooting for them because I think, with Brown and Tatum, you have two absolutely maybe Hall of Famer level players in their prime on the roster, so they needed to win now. For me, what made this possible, and also in the playoffs, because this is in the previous seasons, they did a great season, and then the playoffs, they were like ducking away. was the addition of KP, and also the most important puzzle piece, Drew Holiday. Um, I mean, okay, if you're Milwaukee and you're able to get Dame, you will go for it. But Drew Holiday is one of the pieces you want to have on a team. Absolute mental giant. He never gives up, gives you everything on the defensive end, and is a good facilitator, also a good scorer. So this was the final missing puzzle piece, if you ask me. Of course, not much happening on the draft side. But they they don't need anything extra. Joe Mazzulla was a great rookie coach. I really like him also. Uh, his demeanor, and he's very matter of fact. I really like this. A bit like Greg Popovich, and this as a rookie coach. So he won me over definitely, and yeah, I hope Jalen and Jason get their flowers, and both great players. I myself like Jalen a little bit more. The only downside was that watching Boston games was a bit boring because they had their formula that was working. It was not that exciting to watch, but yeah, it was for me. It was a bit of a throwback to old San Antonio Spurs times, where it was boring to watch because it was so efficient with Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Um, a different era, but just the very efficient b-ball. So not very exciting to watch. But I'm glad. So far, I was rooting for them because I think this is a really, really great team, and I will have them for next year also. So is this a new dynasty? Let's see, but it doesn't seem that they will go anywhere. I mean, Al Horford is a really old guy at the moment, but he still gave everything and is in great condition. So if they are able to keep it kind of like this, and KP is halfway healthy, I guess they will repeat. So moving on to to a weird one, Brooklyn. They had a underwhelming season, but it was expected. It seems like this is one of the teams where there are players no one else wants or has an idea how to facilitate. And it's a ragtag bunch. I kind of like it because of their nature. But yeah, the main problem is this guy. So he won't play next season. He's riding this out, and he's a problem because he's costing money, doesn't contribute, doesn't want to. And this is what he's been doing since the infamous playoffs with Philly, and they need to rebuild ASAP. Um, and they started. So they sent away Mikal Bridges to the Knicks. I will get into this a bit later, but they definitely need to rebuild and re-sign Claxton. I like Claxton, but he's not the guy, right? He's a good piece to have on your roster, and not really that guy. They need to bring in assets and rebuild slowly. Um, because yeah, they also had no real picks this season, and they sent away a lot of picks to get KD back in the day. So they are playing decently, but going nowhere. So Charlotte, another one. They do have talent. Brandon Miller showed he can play. LaMelo was out for a good chunk of the season, but 2 or 3 years ago they were quite exciting to watch. But now nothing's happening really. So also a team maybe. LaMelo will uh, come around. I thought when he was named Rookie of the Year that Ant-Man is a better player and option, And yeah, he showed, of course, if you're hurt, you're hurt. But I'm not really sure that the Ball is the kind of person I would build my team around. At least they have some perspective to get good down the road. Let's see, they had the sixth pick, and in every other season it would be more exciting, but the draft class doesn't seem that exciting. So I don't know anything about the players, nothing uh, all too exciting. Let's see how this pans out. Of course, I hope it will be a great one as always. We need more high level talent in the league. Yeah, but let's see if Charlotte can turn it around. Not sure on this. Yeah, send away Rozier, Washington. So they are gone, and well, let's see what the front office does. But a bit underwhelming, the team. Speaking of underwhelming, Chicago. So DeRozan, Levine, Vooch, this didn't work out for Chicago. It was blatantly clear. So now what do they do? Levine is an expensive player. He's great, but doesn't seem to be the guy. So I guess they need to rebuild, right? So maybe because the three players here are quite expensive. Maybe just hit the reset button. They sent Alex Caruso to OKC, got Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is a decent playmaker, not good on defense, and also I'm questioning if this is a guy you want to build your team around. But yeah, nothing much happening in Chicago at the moment. The only upside for this season was Kobe White. So he's a really great and improved player, and really he has it. If you ask me, he's able to close out games and has a winner's mentality. So this is the bright spot for Chicago for this year. Otherwise, and I really like DeRozan. I like Levine. He's an exciting player. But you know, on the other hand, who will pick up Levine for an arm and a leg? So let's see. Cleveland, I mean, I generally like this team. I'm a Spider fan, like Garland, like Mobley. He really turned the season around, had a shaky start. I like Jared Allen, he's a good one. So even though the parts are there, for me, it doesn't click. So yeah, they are solid. They have absolutely superstar player with Donovan Mitchell on the roster. I mean, granted, he went there like 2 years ago, so maybe they need a bit of time to adjust the system. But something's not clicking here, and they also have a new head coach. Yeah, but let's see on this. I mean, this is a great backcourt, right? So the parts are there, and of course they did not want to face Philly in the playoffs and lost uh, for the second round. You know, to have New York pick up the slack. This is if you want to win championships, this is not an option. You face whatever you get in front of you and go to the finals and win the chip, and not like duck and say, okay, I don't want to play this team. They seem to be a bit stronger. So this is a weak move, and I want to like them, but this is a definitely weak move. So I don't like that. Let's see if they can turn it around. It's for them, it's win now, right? Mobley is really getting into it. Spider is not getting younger. As Garland, they need some bits and pieces, and then I guess they can compete. Not sure on the coaching decision, but we will see. So moving on to Detroit, man, they had a rough season, right? What was it, like 19 games in a row that they lost? And I remember Kate being frustrated, rightfully so. Kate is a good player. For me, it's something lacking. Maybe kind of a player type like Tatum, so that everything's there. The game is good, but there's something missing here, and this is how I see Cade. Jaden Ivey was hurt, but otherwise he did not improve at all. Uh, Thompson, both of the Thompson twins, I guess down the road they are good role players. Let's see. I like to be proven wrong. So Jalen Duren, so all the young guys, they need time. They need more time, and I guess this is. I hope that Detroit is trying to give them time. So they need a veteran if they want to win. Also, one of the major bombers was James Wiseman. He was able to prove that he deserved. I guess he was picked second, right? Um, the high pick, and that he actually is a good player. But nope, he didn't. Not on the worst team of the league. So I guess he's officially a bust now. Um, yeah, and they picked up because they have cap space. They picked up Tim Hardaway Jr., which I like because he's a good veteran, but an expensive one. But they can shell out the cash. No worries here. And let's see if the draft went good for them. Not sure if they even have the asset anymore. But yeah, they will need a lot of time. And for me, it's like Detroit won't get anywhere as long as I live. It's yeah, maybe because I like the bad boy Detroit Pistons and the Ben Wallace Detroit Pistons. They were great, but this is yeah atrocious. Um, the Pacers were for me last year and also this year uh, kind of a surprise, a good surprise because I'm a Knicks fan and I of course hate the Pacers. Um, but I really like watching them play. It's like a curse because I need to hate them, but I like the who was he called before? PG was there. I guess I will remember the name later on. Um, uh, I like this era. I like the PG era. I now like the Halliburton era. Really has a lot of upside. I like his play style, and it's like retro, but it's modern. He's ice cold. Mathurin, I think we can expect a lot of him for this season. Miles Turner is always good. He developed a shot, so not bad. Siakam, he really delivered. So this is a really good team. It's scary, and I think there's one to three puzzle pieces missing, and they can go to the finals. But still, Boston will beat them beforehand. But as a team, man, these Pacers are exciting, and they have great role players. Nembhard and Neesmith are really guys I would love to have on my teams. So let's see where the season takes them. Very solid, very good team. One of the best coaches of the modern era in Carlisle. Still miss him in Dallas, even though Kid is doing a great job. But great team, and yeah, I hate that I really swoon about the Pacers. So the Heat are kind of in a weird spot. The Heat is our team that you need to have on your radar, as always, at least until the postseason starts. Hero is a player who's exciting to watch. He was great in the bubble, but yeah, he's inconsistent. Let's phrase it this way. And he's not the guy on a team. He's still the third guy on a team. Not much happening for top class for Miami here. So not really sure on this. Is it time to break the Heat up? But One thing they do have is an excellent culture, the best in the NBA, and they can always bring next guy up. So they are really good at picking their talents, but at building them also, which also leads mostly, it's kind of like with the Spurs. If they go to another team, they will suck. Let's see. But yeah, I would like to see Jimmy Buckets as a champion. Absolutely. And yeah, I'm not the biggest Bam Adebayo fan, but I can't deny his impact on the game and on winning. So yeah, I liked James Hackes as a pick, absolutely. But will he be the guy? So there's a lot of question marks, and they are a decent team. Rozier wasn't the best addition. So let's see. But again, Spoelstra is a great coach, one of the greats. They have a great front office, great culture. Yeah, let's see if they surprise or if they pull the trigger and, restart. So they are in this tier. For the Bucks, of course, again, if you are able to get Dame in still his prime, you do it. But of course, injuries aside, it wasn't the best fit during the season. Of course, things will need time. So I guess him and Giannis, they will be back with a vengeance, and they are still in a win now mode. Absolutely, maybe some bits and pieces, and yeah, and next season could be a bit different. And they still had a good season, so still contenders. No worries about yeah, blowing up the team. So let's see where we go. And yeah, so also the coach edition was a good one. That there was some uncertainty on this one, but they got around, and still my Milwaukee is still scary with Giannis and Dame if they are uh, healthy. Going to New York, I mean, this for me was the guy. I really love Brunson and the Villanova connection. They showed out. Everyone was questioning if this is your number one guy and it's a short guy. Can you win? And they showed they can win, and they made a great run. And it was not like a winning team, at least winning a championship. Randall was out, and you can think of him what you want, but he's still a vital piece of the team. But I mean, the addition of OG was great. It was like, for me, it was magic happening. So I'm a Knicks fan since 30 years now, and I've seen stuff. And the management is really good, and the culture is good. I love Tips, even though I guess it's not healthy to run your best players like 48 minutes a game, but it seems to work. Speaking of 48 minutes, so they gave away an arm and the leg, and it's debatable on if this is worth it, but to acquire Mikal Bridges. So now we have four Nova players on the team that know each other, and team chemistry is important, as you've seen in the previous years. Just getting like the superstar players and put them in a team, it's mostly not working out. So you need chemistry. It's there. I'm over the moon. But yeah, New York is in a win now mode. The question is it enough? And again, they are missing a few bits and pieces, but they were busy during draft night, also for the second round, moving assets around and trying to position themselves. And I really love to see it. So excited for this season, nothing but respect. And I think I would have had respect, even though I wouldn't like the Knicks. So let's see on this, on the Villanova connection, but there's a lot of chemistry here, as they showed also in the playoffs. Moving on to the Magic, finally. So I've visited Orlando like in 22. Of course, went to a lot of games, home games, and it was a bit frustrating. So the puzzle pieces were there. Paulo was great. Wagner was also great, but it wasn't clicking. So wasn't exciting to watch. It wasn't successful. And now finally they turned it around, had a great season, have a great upside. So the front court is scary. These two guys, they have good role players on the bench. So there is a veteran missing because they are still that young. But I guess they will be able to sign one because they have a cap space and they became exciting. And let's see on this. And some rumors were going circling around that maybe PG is a target. Would love to see him here. So keep your eyes peeled for Orlando. And I can't believe I'm saying that. The only thing is I mean, the rookies were no shows, okay, but they had a great season and more importantly off season. So they gave Cleveland a run for their money. Exciting. So I would love to see them meet up again next year or next season. So going to Philly, I mean, for me, Embiid, of course, stats wise, he's the big one. And yeah, if he's healthy, so it's the same every season. But for me, it was Maxi. This is the guy you want to close out your games. This is the guy you want to put your team on his shoulders. You want to put the team, and he's an absolute steal. And I love the guy to death because this is the kind of player I really like. Quick, but takes shots that shouldn't go in, but they go in all of the confidence in the world, and he's not ducking away. Someone who is Joel. So yeah, I guess the trusted process era is gone now. They need to think about how to facilitate because they don't have a lot of assets. Harris is a free agent now. Yeah, it's the beginning of the series or the season. I really liked Harris because, and like everybody's saying, if he attacks, they can play a successful b-ball. But like kind of in the mid of the season, he ducked away and he was like, "No, I did enough for the season. Let's take a day off." And I think it's sad because he can still contribute and can be a great player, but it's like not the he's inconsistent, right? So yeah, Nick Nurse is a great coach. He proved that. Also the Lowry situation. I mean, he's old. Do you want him to still have him run your offense or have a scenario like Golden State has with Chris Paul? He will give you some minutes. So for me, they need to have a point guard uh, facts. But Lowry is a great player and he showed out also in the playoffs. Also a guy you want on the team, but not on a starting role, I guess. Um, so will we see a restart? And they managed to get the 16th pick, but again, nothing too exciting this year. They need to make some moves because Embiid is getting older and yeah. Or push the reset button because they will get a ton for Embiid still. Uh, moving to Toronto, great team. I mean, the core of my guys, New York, is in here. They managed to resign quickly. He's also kind of a player like Maxi. Really like the guy. Was really sad that he left New York, but it was for the better, right? Um, Brunson speaks for itself and the deep run New York made. But I really like the guys. And this is an exciting young core here. Siakam is at Indiana, but this is exciting, and I think they can really build up. And Scotty is their guy, and they have managed to get assets also for Siakam, and this can be a quick turnaround. Right now, there's like 2 years where they're The Raptors weren't that good, but they still don't suck. And I guess they can turn it around. This is really, really solid. RJ Barrett, I mean, he's just in the wrong time, if you ask me. Like before the 90s, he would be a threat, and I think he's elegant and a really great player, but the wrong era, you know. Um, but yeah, let's see Gary Trent Jr. If he resigns. There's some solid bits and pieces here. I like the coach, absolutely great coach, talks his mind. So for Toronto, I guess the future is exciting. Give them two more years, and they will compete again. Um, who won't compete in 2 years or 3 years is the Washington Wizards. So I call them the meme team because I mean you have Poole, you have Kuzma, these are your guys, and it's like they do dumb stuff. And if Kuzma is not the dumbest player on your starting five or rotation, yeah, it says something. And yeah, it's a weird team. It's for me. I'm an old guy, you know. For me, it's like the young ones with their fancy tattoos and weird fashion style and doing dumb stuff just for the kick of it. This is what you get. You suck. They got the second pick out of it though. Also a Frenchman, Alexar. Huge guy. Santa, maybe they can build their team around, but they will need some years. They sent away their only decent player for this year, if you ask me. Then after to Portland. Good pickup for Portland. Yeah, and there's a lot of question marks also how Poole will behave this season. I mean, he made his bucks, but now it's like yeah, he needs some maturing to do, definitely. So let's see. So nothing exciting here. I don't like watching their games. No idea what could propel them. Otherwise, continue rebuilding and maybe trade away Kuzma and Poole for something decent. This was the Eastern Conference, and yeah, I will use the timestamps to make it more accessible for you because this will be a long video. But I needed to get it off my chest. So moving to the West, Dallas, they were in the finals, right? Everybody was like, okay, Kyrie and Luka won't work. You can put your franchise on Kyrie's shoulders. But he grew. He is a really mature team leader now, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is true, and it worked out. They need some bits and pieces. Lively was great. The trades for Gafford and Washington were great. And Kid, I love Kid as a coach. I loved him as a player. There's some bits and pieces missing here size-wise, but if they add something, they can compete again, also go to the finals. And of course, as a Mavs fan, hope they can win it all. And the most important thing is they made these moves. They were successful, and this means the likelihood of Luka leaving shrank. So this is what you want to do, right? As a franchise, you don't want to be the franchise that does nothing, and the guy who's loyal to you will leave. This is what happened to Portland, right? They needed to make moves, and Dame was fed up at the end of the day and finally left. So Dallas turned it around. So Denver, I had them at least going to the finals. Was a bit disappointed. Love last year from start to finish, absolutely great. Jokic is still one of my favorite players, and it's like watching yeah, unicorn. It's weird, but I love him. I like this guy really. So yeah, so they are still competing. They have a championship roster. Let's see if they can keep it. They have a championship coach, and I guess nothing much will be happening there. Let's run it back for next year, right? Golden State, not so much. They are preparing to say goodbye to Clay. Clay unfollowed the organization on Twitter, and today, in this day and age, this means a lot. And they are trying to get Paul George also, which would be exciting. But they still need, because Draymond Green is also not getting younger, they need size, I guess. But yeah, I guess Steph will keep playing there. I guess he will um, retire and go on State, and let's see if they can turn it around quickly. As you've seen, like 3 years before, you will always need to have this team on your radar. They are dangerous to the league. I liked that they moved CP to the bench, and he's more of a veteran player. I mean, for the last years, but gives you some minutes. But mostly, they are trying to build their guys up. Yeah, but the question is, will Steve Kerr be their coach next year? Let's see about that. And Wiggins, if healthy, he's a good addition. So if they get PG instead of Clay, they're good. Moving on to Houston, and this is also one of the teams where I think this is a misfit team, like guys that no one else wants, and they had a decent run at the end of the season. They came close. Um, they had a really good undefeated streak. The only downside is it was because Schengen was out, and I think he's a really exciting player center. Um, that was kind of weird. If you are losing your best player and then start winning, that's not a good message for your management. But yeah, they were exciting. So Jalen Green showed out. And he's talented, everybody knew, but he was also able to close games. Yeah, Dylan the villain is also a weird player, but it seems to work out at the end of the season. And yeah, they are trying to pressure Phoenix into sending KD their way because they have a lot of assets. They even acquired further assets, so they are trying to make a big move here, and I like to see it. So and also they had Udoka as a head coach. He was let go by Boston last year. And there was a weird story here, but yeah, it's a misfit ragtag bunch, but I like him. Uh, and yeah, so Cam Whitmore also good rookie. So future looks bright in Houston. Let's see if they can make the playoffs. I would say they will make the playoffs, even though the West is really competitive and good division. Let's see. Let's see also for the Clippers. Did these guys play their last game? I mean, I was skeptical to build your team around Kawhi as someone who does a lot of load management and is not 100%. PG picked up a lot of the slack, but I guess no one's mad that he wants out, aside from Clippers fans. But he had to carry the team, but yeah, got no recognition. Kawhi was still the guy, and yeah. Westbrook is staying, so he signed. Not sure on Harden. I mean, these guys are getting old, right? Um, so from my point of view, and I was skeptical of the Clippers of what they put together. I am still, and when PG is leaving, it's time to hit the reset button, if you ask me, because you won't win a championship with these old guys as your main guys. As role players, that's a different thing. And again, I think Russell Westbrook has a lot of ego, and rightfully so, but he turned it around at least. And yeah, Harden is more of a playmaker now, good transition. So yeah, and Clippers, they are a weird one for me. um, and they hired Jeff Van Gundy as an assistant coach. I really like Van Gundy, even though not every New York fan is loving him. But so they are making solid moves in the back end. So let's see. But they need to do something. in the off season or split this team. So Russell just heading to the Lakers. Russell resigned, but still maybe gets traded away. Who knows? Um, so the of course, they won the mid-season tournament. I'm not sure on this one. What does it mean? Has this some value? I like that LeBron was like, yeah, it's 800K. Let's go for it. Uh, so yeah, they tried to put some prestige on it, but time will tell, right? I didn't care. Um, Let me know if you did, but it was a mid-season tournament. Okay, big whoop. At the end of the day, they made the playoffs or play-in, but man, they need to change stuff around. But now they have a new coach. LeBron is willing to take cuts for a new addition and maybe like a big like Valanciunas or someone to help contribute because AD is a better player as a power forward and center. So maybe they will get someone in the free agents um, movements. Let's see. But the main story here is that LeBron gets to play with his son, who was picked 55th in the second round by the Lakers. Now, 54th was Boston. So and this is leaving a weird taste in my mouth because if I'm Boston and I have a 54th pick, right? No, nobody cares. I don't need it. I don't need the asset. I would go and pick Bronny because I know the Lakers would want to have him. So, and every team was able to do this for the first round and nearly all of the second round. I don't get it. And this is something, yeah, the narrative needs to be told. And yeah, but this clean and this obviously, I'm not sure about that. So this is iffy. If you ask me, uh, I would have picked him definitely and tried to get something out of it. If not, I have a sucky 54th pick on my roster I can get rid of. So a bit weird, but the Lakers still managed to be the one of the interesting franchises. I will give them that. Um, so yeah. And of course, now the Celtics do have more titles than them. This is an extra spark of motivation, I guess. Let's see. But they picked their 17th pick as intended. So let's keep an eye out for the Lakers. Moving on, Memphis, of course. I mean, the whole team was out, injured. Um, they lost all of their momentum. Still a young team with great players like Ja and Jaren Jackson. Mike Conley is getting older, but someone said he's like Jokic. I guess he's one of the most underrated players in the league. I agree with this. You won't be able to see this when you look at the stat sheet, but he's one of the type of players you want to have on your team if you want to compete. They are too young. They have assets to hit the reset button. So yeah, move on. Go into the next season. Hopefully healthy and compete. But from my point of view, yeah, they will make it to the second round of the playoffs, not further. So yeah, and they got a steal with Gigi Jackson, great player. Moving on to Minnesota and to Jordan's son, and this came around quickly, so I was surprised. Yeah, he has the mannerisms, he has the mentality, but yes, still a long way to go, and Dallas proved it. But again, the throwing away your future for Rudy seemed to play out. So he made a great impact, and yep, uh, they were a winning team. They had good streaks. They competed in the playoffs. Exciting to see what they do in the next season, and they still made some moves. So they had like picks left over for the year 31. and they got the eighth pick from San Antonio, so they still have a future left to throw out the window, and this is what they did. So let's see how many picks we'll have. But we are in the year 31 now. People jokingly told Minnesota, okay, you are giving away your or getting a player for like someone like Deuce Tatum, someone in middle school. So that's kind of funny. Yeah? But it is what it is. So we are getting weird with the picks and gambling away your future. I mean, if Minnesota doesn't win it all, the next years they will be worse than Detroit. Willingly. So that's for Minnesota. I'm still not really a fan of the team itself. I'm still really not a fan of Towns and Gobert, but they were successful. So let's contend Minnesota. The Pels are a weird team because you have McCollum, Ingram, you have Williamson, you have Valanciunas, who is a great center, but it's not clicking. So they picked up. Who did they pick up? Let me see. DeJounte Murray, right? So they have a stacked starting five. They have some good bits and pieces as role players. So this should be really exciting. The only question mark is this: will they keep Ingram because he's a free agent now? This should be exciting. They should be exciting to watch, but from my point of view, there's something lacking. They are exactly where they belong in the league, like a mid-tier team that can make the playoffs but won't compete. And this is where they will stay, I guess. What is supposed to happen, right? Zion, I mean, he's doing his thing and he's a good player, but there's something lacking. It's like the stat sheet is filled, but you won't see the results, and it's kind of a shame. I was excited for the Pels, but yeah, they're kind of bland. OKC, yeah, what can I tell you? Best team in the West in the season, SGA MVP level. They have a young core. J-Dub is great, improved. They have defense. They have Chet Holmgren that really was good. They still have a lot of assets out of the past deals that they can also use. They sent away Giddy. Giddy was it was clear that he was a weakness in their game during the playoffs. He couldn't start because the defense wasn't there. And then this is what I like. The management immediately when they could in the off season sent him to Chicago for Caruso. I really like this. Caruso won't fill the stat sheet, but he's a dog and he will play like one. And this is what the team needs, a veteran with grit. And this is what they got. And yeah, it's scary. So they are still improving and still have money because most of the guys are on their rookie contracts. So they can add a veteran. So maybe PG makes a comeback. Um, let's see, but exciting and a scary team for the future. And it's they got there quick, if you ask me. So yeah, keep it up, OKC, and I'm rooting for you. So moving on to the Suns. This didn't work out as expected. I mean, I knew. This is not a winning team. This is not a winning franchise. And this has to do with their mindset. And, Devin Booker, he can give you 30 every night, but he's not a winning player. I wouldn't build my team around him. KD also, and he was great this season. And he's also one of the guys that doesn't seem to age, at least if you look at them on the court. And but this doesn't work. Also, Bradley Beal, great player, but this won't win you champions. And this is, I guess, what the league is finding out now that having a certain chemistry, having to grow your talents is a good idea. And I approve of this. This is what I like. And let's see if they already pull the trigger. Let's see if KD stays there because he's not happy with the organization. And let's see if they get stuff for Booker, but I guess they are too stubborn because they still think they are competing. They are not. So I would pull the trigger here. Um, and there's a lot of assets, right? Waiting on them. So let's see. Phoenix, I'm not a fan, and like what Luka did to them. Even though I like them in the bubble, but man, they got cocky like in a sec, and still not a winning team. Uh, Trailblazers pulled the trigger, trying to rebuild. I mean, Scoot was okay at the end of the season, but seemed like the bust in the first part of the season. But man, he's young, he's he has upside, so this can be a great backcourt, right? Simmons is a good one, so they have good bits and pieces, young pieces. Aiton is going to be Aiton. Great potential still, but he's like, yeah, he only competes when he wants to. It's a bit of a diva. Um, yeah, and the question is, this and last season, the lottery proved that you maybe should think twice before tanking because the odds were stacked against Atlanta and Spurs, and they got the first pick anyway. So maybe tanking is not the best idea. Build up your young players, get a good core, get a good team chemistry, have some bets on there, like Grant and Aiton. Maybe they can turn it around, but I'm not sure because it's Portland. They managed to drive away Dame, and they wanted to retire there. So I don't have the most trust. Yeah, Sacramento, also one of my teams. They were exciting last year. Something was missing this year, but they have a really good team. Sabonis is a double-double and triple-double monster. Nobody seems to talk about him. He's one of the great players in the league. Fox also exciting and a great playmaker, also a great scorer. In my from my point of view, maybe the best six man. Malik Monk. I hope he resigns. They can give him the money. They have a good team, but it didn't translate to wins this year. And something was often missing, but I hope they can turn it around because they had momentum from last year. And let's see, they also acquired Jalen McDaniels from Toronto for Davion Mitchell, kind of like a better version of Davion, defensive-minded 3D player, good addition, even though I like Davion, but he was like kind of a expensive role player off the bench. If you need a defensive spark, that's fine. But yeah, it seems they are moving on, but they do it in small strides. So I guess this is very solid. So San Antonio, of course, talk of the town with Victor here. He showed out, and I had a slow start, but he was playing restricted minutes. He showed he can be the 2K cheat code everybody expected, and doesn't seem to be a bust. I mean, for the hobby, you got a Wemby tax. Everything skyrocketed in prices, so not a fan. Thank you, Wemby, but it was exciting to pull Yana cards. It slowed down a bit because they were printed into oblivion. I mean, of course, short prints is a thing, but base cards, they were going for a lot of bucks. Yeah, I like they included them here. Still missing the rookie card sign. Would be nice addition, but yeah, of course, San Antonio will build it. They have the culture, they have the management, they have the coach in Popovich, and now they have also the fourth pick in the draft, and they are a lucky franchise, let me tell you. And they keep moving things around like Murray. Kevin Johnson as a dog. uh, winning mindsets, not sure on Sohan, what they did, experiments here. Of course, they need a good playmaker, and they should be good to compete in like 1 year, 2 years, make the playoffs, and then go for it all like in 3 years down the road. So yeah, Wemby is it, no bust, and if he stays healthy, the league is on notice, right? Um, Moving on to Utah. The third team I think is kind of a missed team, but they seem to work. They are actually nice to watch, not as bad as everybody thought. Let's see if they can build something around Laurie. They had Keontae George, which was a great addition, and there's something there. So I think they can at least go to the play and maybe the playoffs, even though the West is strong. But if you ask me, there's something there. So, but nothing else happened this much. Maybe they try to build around Laurie. Let's see about that. Not the worst idea, I think, but they need to add a lot more here. And yeah, they had the 10th pick, so not lucky on the draft lottery. So maybe they will stay where they're at because the West is so strong. So that's the recap of the season. You see, this is complete. Let's breeze through the inserts. Supersonics complete. They still look great. I like this one. There's a lot. Ant-Man, Max Power, kind of all right. Big man specific insert set. Yeah, I mean, this is exciting for when we collectors, so not complaining on this one. We do have the winners. Weakest insert, if you ask me, kind of weird. Don't know what the theme is still, and this was the final card that was missing. Spoiler. So I have the whole set. There's this, and yeah. So we have the Rainbow Masters. Okay, second weakest insert, but the numbering is for the whole set, right? I really like the synergy ones. Still don't know why they didn't do it for every team, but okay, weird choice. I would have done it for the whole league. Maybe have some of those, some less of those, but yeah, these stood out to me and really are great because they look like they're worth a million, but then they're not. But some people offer them for a lot of money. I like those. I hope they bring those back next year. Masterclass was kind of weird because I didn't know what this is about, but these are the bets. And the bets who have been in the league for a long time like that we have kind of an insert highlighting those players because you don't get inserts here often. It's just, credit where it's due. And new sensations, the trades, and the rookies. So yeah, KP was a great addition. He balled out. Thompson twins are all right. Dame is Dame. Good addition. Van Fleet is also a good addition to to Houston, sorry. But I mean, he costs a lot of money. James Harden to the Clippers. I like Marcus Smart, but he was hurt the whole season. Chet had a good rookie season because he was out in his rookie season. Bradley Beal didn't work out. He had one really good game where he showed out, but it was not enough. Scoot again. Yeah, let's see how he works out. Aiton is Aiton. Won't be a fan of his, and that's that. This guy, unbeatable. These seem to be, and also the pure basketball one. These seem to be a bit harder to get. To be honest, I like those, and this is like the centerpiece. This also seems to be hard to get, and this concludes this year's top class. So thank you for joining this, and also thank you for someone in the community of the channel to help me complete the set. Now we are complete here. Let's take a quick look at Holo Giants. and the rest of the stuff. So these were the color parallels of Unbeatable I got. Not bad. I mean, a gold LeBron, not sure on the market on those, to be honest. But I mean, it's 5 color parallels. They don't fit here neatly, but yeah, still not sure on those. I like him though. And yeah, I guess this one is the best one. Not sure on the odds also, but it's nice to have. I take those. Also, what was exciting, and these were available in the fat packs, Holo Giants. I will show you what I'm missing on screen, but this is what I have right now. Almost complete, missing some, and I'm trying to also complete those. But you know, if I'm able to, I will just post it here and on Insta. Yeah, of course, this guy I'm not missing him. Could be expensive. And if you do have, just bear with me here. If you do have Holo Giants you want to trade and that I'm still looking for, this is the Holo Giants I can trade, most preferably in Germany, to keep costs low. But yeah, this is what I can trade. And of course, I have some duplicates of Top Class. So if you need something for the core set, just hit me up. Yeah, hopefully you will also complete the set. It was quite a fun ride this year. I will be open to do this next year also. I had fun, and this also was kind of not that pricey. It was affordable, and I'm all for affordable fun. This was it. Kind of weird because yeah, it's something different to the normal trading cards. I had a blast, and I also would like to thank you for joining and taking along. And yeah, also please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Also, please turn on the notifications so you won't miss the next one. See you there, and have a look out for other different stuff on the channel. Take care. Bye bye.